The West Somerset Railway 2013 Autumn Steam Gala was held over 3 days, between Friday the 4th and Sunday the 6th of October, having a Cambrian Railways theme, marking the 150th anniversary of the formation of the Newtown and Machynlleth Railway and the Aberystwyth and Welsh Coast Railway, both of which became part of the Cambrian Railway system. 4 engines visited the railway, in the form of Great Western Railways Manor Class 460's No.7812 Erlestoke Manor and 7827 Lydham Manor. Great Western Railways Castle Class 460, No.5029 Nunney Castle, masquerading as Scrap's sister, No.5026 Criccieth Castle, and Corris Railway 042 tank, No.3 Sir Haydn, forming a narrow gauge load for the goods train. Home-based motive power included Great Western Railways 5101 class Large Prairie, No. 4160, Great Western Railways Manor Class 460's numbers 7822 Foxcote Manor and 7828 Odney Manor, Great Western Railways Modified Hall Class 460, number 6960 Raveningham Hall, Great Western Railways 2884 Class 280, number 3850, and West Somerset Railway Mogul number 9351, converted from a Great Western Railways Large Prairie tank number 5193 to a 260 tender locomotive, completed in the railway's workshops in 2004. Our coverage of the Autumn Steam Gala begins on Friday the 4th of October at Kentsford Farm Crossing, where Great Western Railways 5101 class Large Prairie number 4160 is seen running downgrade with the 9 a.m. Minehead to Bishop's Lydeard goods, hauling a single flat wagon with Corris Railway 042 tank number 3 Sir Haydn its load and a GWR towed brake van. Travelling ahead of the 9 a.m. goods from Minehead, we see 4160 passing Waters Meet, nearing the end of its journey to Bishop's Lydeard. Starting the climb to Crocombe Heathfield, Great Western Railways Manor Class 460, number 7822 Foxcote Manor, Pilot and Sister number 7812 Erlestoke Manor, doubleheads at 10:45 a.m. Bishop's Lydeard to Minehead service, past Walnut Tree Hut at Waters Meet. Walking along to Whiskey Trail Crossing, we see West Somerset Railway Mogul number 9351 passing by with the 9:50 a.m. Minehead to Bishop's Lydeard service. Number 9351 was converted from a Great Western Railways Large Prairie tank number 5193 to a 260 tender locomotive and completed in the railway's workshops in 2004. With the drain cocks temporarily opened to clear the cylinders of condensed steam, Great Western Railways Manor Class 460, number 7827 Lydham Manor, departs from Bishop's Lydeard in a cloud of steam before entering the Cutting-It Greenway, with 11:45 AM service to Minehead. Trundling downgrade at Whiskey Trail Crossing, Great Western Railways Castle Class 460, number 5029 Nunney Castle, masquerading as Scrap Sister, number 5026 Criccieth Castle, passes by with the 10:45 AM Minehead to Bishop's Lydeard service. Moving to Churchlands Bridge at Cloonflurry, we see Great Western Railways Manor Class 460, number 7828 Audney Manor, coasting downgrade towards Bishop's Lydeard, with 11:45 AM service from Minehead. Continuing on to Nethercott Bridge, we find 5026 Criccieth Castle, actually 5029 Nunney Castle in its scrap sister's guise, making its way to Crocombe Heathfield with the 1:45 p.m. Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service. Exiting the cutting at Nethercott, Great Western Railways modified Hall Class 460, number 6960 Raveningham Hall, passes by with the 12:45 p.m. Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Rounding the curve to pass over Nornvis Bridge, 9351 makes its way to Minehead with the 2:45 p.m. service from Bishop's Lydiard. Carrying a Tallyllyn Railway special train headboard, remembering the Tallyllyn Preservation Society organised excursion from London Paddington to Towan for Society members to attend the AGM on the 26th and 27th of September 1964, 7822 Erlestoke Manor passes Nornvis Bridge with the 1:45 p.m. Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Calling in at Crocombe Heathfield, we see Great Western Railways Manor Class 460, number 7812 Erlestoke Manor, piloting younger British Railways built sister locomotive number 7828 Lydham Manor, approaching Crocombe Bridge with the 2:45 p.m. Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Setting off from Crocombe Heathfield, 7828 Audney Manor drops downgrade to pass under Crocombe Bridge with the 3:45 p.m. Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service. Pressing on to Stones Wood, we see 4160 working up the 1 in 100 gradient, with the 3:45 p.m. Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Dropping downgrade to pass over Roebuck Gate level crossing, 6960 Raveningham Hall passes by with the 4:45 p.m. Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service. Driving back to Cotterford Bridge, we see 5026 Criccieth Castle, emerging from the road overbridge, with the 4:45 p.m. Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Drifting out of 15-mile cutting, 7812 Erlestoke Manor makes its way back to Minehead, with the 5:40 p.m. goods from Bishop's Lydiard. The next day, Saturday the 5th of October, we begin at Leewood's level crossing, where 7822 Foxcote Manor is seen coasting downgrade with a 9 a.m. Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service. Charging up the gradient over Leewood's level crossing, 9351 heads for Bishop's Lydiard, with the 8:45 a.m. passenger service from Minehead. Wandering over to Lee Woods Bridge, we see 6960 Raveningham Hall sweeping through the reverse curves to pass with the 9:45 AM Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Rolling downgrade from Lee Woods Bridge, 4160 passes by with the 10:45 AM Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service. Looking in at Stigumber, we find 7812 Erlestoke Manor drawn to a halt at the station with the 10:45 AM Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. A wave of the Guards' green flag is acknowledged from the locomotive footplate, enabling Erlestoke Manor to continue its journey to Bishop's Lydiard. Coasting out of the Cutton to run into the station at Stigumber, No.3 makes its way to Minehead with 11:45 AM service from Bishop's Lydeard. Running non-stop through Stigumber, 7822 Foxcote Manor hauls the 11:55 AM service from Minehead, bound for Bishop's Lydeard. Making our way to Bicknoller, we see 6960 Raveningham Hall sweeping through the reverse curves to pass with the 1:03 PM Bishop's Lydeard to Minehead service. Working through the reverse curves past Bicknoller Bridge, 7828 Audney Manor climbs the 1 in 100 gradient towards Stigumber with the 12:45 PM Minehead to Bishop's Lydeard service. Swinging through the curves at Bicknoller, 7812 Erlestoke Manor, carrying a Cambrian Coast Express headboard, enters 15 Mile Cutton with the 2:05 PM Bishop's Lydeard to Minehead service. Climbing the gradient to pass through 15 Mile Cutton, 7827 Lydham Manor makes its way to Bishop's Lydeard with the 1:45 PM service from Minehead. Relocating to Doniford, we see 9351 hauling the 2:54 PM Minehead to Bishop's Lydeard service, requested to stop at the halt to pick up passengers. and with the people safely on board and given a green flag by the guard, continue on its way to Willerton. A walk through the Cutton to look down over Lydham Bridge finds 5026 Criccieth Castle, leaving Willerton at the head of the 2:45 p.m. Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service. Proceeding to Whitehall Bridge at Watchet, we arrive in time to see 4160 drifting downgrade towards the station with the 3:45 p.m. Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Lifting its train, the 3:45 p.m. Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service, away from Watchet, 7812 Erlestoke Manor, begins to climb over the Mineral Line Bridge, heading for Washford. A move to Kensford Farm Crossing brings 6960 Raveningham Hall rushing downgrade towards Watchet with the 4:45pm Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Rushing up the 1 in 123 gradient, past Kensford Farm Crossing, 7827 Lydham Manor makes its way to Minehead, with a 4:45pm service from Bishop's Lydiard. The final day of the gala, Sunday the 6th of October, starts at Teddy Bear Crossing, where 5029 Nunney Castle, running as Scrap's sister, No. 5026 Criccieth Castle, ambles around the curve to drop down toward Willerton, with the 9:50am Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service. Picking up speed from its stop at Willerton, 7828 Lydham Manor passes Teddy Bear Crossing with a 9:50am Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Trekking over to Woolston, we see 4160 rounding the curve to pass through the cutting before dropping downgrade over Sandford Brett Bridge with the 10:45am Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service. A stroll back to Sandford Brett Bridge finds 7812 Erlestoke Manor, double-heading the 10:45am service from Minehead with sister No. 7822 Foxcote Manor, exiting the cutting under Castle Hill, bound for Bishop's Lydiard. A drive to Old Cleve, overlooking the line from Blue Anchor, brings 7828 Lydham Manor, passing Muddymore, and climbing the 1 in 65 gradient up to Bill Brook, with 11:45am Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Strolling over to horse parks, we see 9351 ambling downgrade at Muddymore and rounding the curve passing the Blue Anchor caravan holiday site to enter the station with 11:45am Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service. Sweeping around the curve at horse parks, 5026 Criccieth Castle begins the climb up to Washford, with the 12:45pm Minehead to Bishop's Lydiard service. Stopping off at Holscombe Accommodation Bridge overlooking Washford Station, we observe 6960 Raveningham Hall running into the platform to pick up passengers, before setting off towards Blue Anchor with the 12:45pm Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead service. Strolling down line towards By Farm Occupation Crossing, we see 7827 Lydham Manor, double-heading the 1:45 p.m. service from Bishop's Lydeard with 7812 Erlestoke Manor, swinging through the reverse curves on the climb to Washford, bound for Minehead. As we head back towards Washford, we find 9351 setting off from its station stop to run downgrade towards Watchet, with the 2:45 p.m. Minehead to Bishop's Lydeard service. Our final view of the railway's 2013 Autumn Steam Gala is at Helwell Bay, where Great Western Railways 2884 Class 280, number 3850, is seen piloting 6960 Raveningham Hall through the reverse curves approaching Doniford Holt, with the 3:45 p.m. Minehead to Bishop's Lydeard service.